I am your host, Derrick Destroyer, Efrenation, and believe it or not, we have a returning guest who has been on the show before. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, Trey.
What's good, guys? It feels good to be back here on Beyond the Yard. I've been waiting for an opportunity to come back, and the conversations I had with that friend regarding, BTW, what's next for that, and WCEF, it all came to fruition. And today we're back again with another episode. Ephraim, my man.
I'm doing pretty good, despite how the weather is kind of bipolar. Sometimes, one day will be hot, the next day will be cold, so on, so on,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
overall, it feels good to be back home because, I just came back from Iowa because that's where I work in the summer, with horses. So it feels good to be back home because over there I'm staying around in a dorm. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels good to be back home because you get to, be in your own environment, be in your own room, and be around with the family and friends you grew up with,
Yeah, for sure. I get that all the time. Got my own crib. And it's always, you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A random source of happiness, or like a source of happiness whenever you're around your family, when you're around your brothers, your sisters, your mom and dad. It's just it's a nice feeling when you go back home.
Exactly. And one thing I learned is I know this is gonna sound funny, but it feels better to be bored when you're at your house than when you're bored at someone else's house,
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, I feel like with my family, just always talking, you're always just talking shit. It's nice.
Right. I mean, I grew up Hispanic, so I could relate with that.
Yeah, I can relate too. Honestly.
Yeah. So anything new lately? Like, what's up with the life of Trey? Was there anything new recently or no?
Nothing really. I mean, I go to college, so I've kind of just
Oh yeah, I've
been.
heard about it. Yes.
Yeah. Midterms. That's how we're recording this. Midterms are coming up, so I've kind of just been grinding. Been in my world, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Job, trying to keep up with rent and whatnot. Overall, life's been pretty good. Since the last time we talked, I got a girlfriend, so then it's always been something that I didn't really know I needed until now. She's honestly 100% my biggest supporter. So I think her being in my life has really changed it for the better, and it's made me a better me and whatnot. And a lot. Not so long ago, Mr. Jack Delta and I finally met. I just want to say, for anybody that watches Jack Delta on camera, that motherfucker is such a goddamn sweetheart. It was shoot shit, have random conversations about wrestling, about life, about a lot of stuff. And to be honest, maybe it opened up some opportunities in the future. Maybe it didn't. Hey, we're gonna play the waiting game at this point. But shout out to Jack Delta. Homeboy is probably one of the most down-to-earth human beings. Life. I'm not gonna spoil what he's doing or what he was doing in Texas, but I'm just gonna say, whatever you see from Jack Delta moving forward, it is gonna be something to see. But other than that, and the life of been constantly on my feet, just living. To be honest with you.
I like that. I mean, I never met Jack Delta in person, but there's been times where we actually, talked through the phone or actually, shoot each other messages and stuff. But, it was cool that you actually had a chance to meet him,
Exactly. I mean, like, no, he's not going to tell you this, but I am Jack Delta's personal Uber. I mean, homeboy was not able to get around because he left his car back in Michigan. So he's like, hey, yo, I got to go do some. We'll shoot the shit. I got you with gas money. Let's do it. So we did that. And it was a good time. Good time with Mr. Jack Delta. But yeah, he's definitely one of the most down-to-earth human beings you'll ever meet. No matter how many times on camera he wants to portray that he is he's the sweetheart. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, I know everyone's kind of like, I don't know about everyone, but I know some people have been like, oh, where's this guy? Where have I been? What's the next step for me? Where I've been, and that kind of brings me to where this episode's going, because I know there's a lot of talk about me. Well, not too much, but like I know there's enough to the point where like I feel like I have to clear my name. I know from a source that a lot has been said about me regarding who I am as a and who I am as, well, I guess more so that I have an ego or some shit like that. So basically why I'm here is to clear it, let everybody know my side of the story. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. It's obviously going to be a he said, she said type of deal. But this is the episode where I go in depth. I tell you guys the story of what prompted me to leave WCEF and why I'm here as a free agent, if you want to call it that. I've kind of just, I've been meaning to get this off my chest. I kind of went into depth with Delta, so he knows about this. So I guess I'm not gonna go ahead and shit on it completely because WCEF was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Excuse me, making this character, making it come to life. It was probably one of the most. It was a good time in my life. I remember being 18. COVID happened. We didn't really have much going on. So we all brought it back. It was nice. It was good. But then there was a part where things started to go a little on my end. So I guess we go back to last year. So I remember. So we get back to Worlds Collide. Worlds Collide was probably one of the best shows we've ever done. Well, granted, we had 2 filler matches, but it was a time to remember. That's when Jacob and William came down. It was probably one of the best days of my entire life, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you did talk about that.
Yeah. Jacob is, shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Jacob and William. But anyways, so I remember, okay, we did the match, put Jacob over. It was a good time. So then it was like, how do we get to do or die? And I'm like, okay, we need to find a way to keep the title on me. Because at that point, I was head booker. And I think I had a lot of like quote unquote backstage heat because everybody was in a position where like, oh, hey, why aren't you giving opportunities to everybody else? Isn't someone else getting the title? But you see, the way I see it is you should always, when you book a show, I know it's hard. And believe me, I struck creative blunders in my time being in creative. And you have to make everything make sense. You got to make it make sense. So Red X, we were talking and he was saying how, in our group chat, he was saying how like he should be the new champion. Like, he should be the champion because we had all this entire story and the payoff should be him being the champion. And I say, I think you should be the champion, but it's not the right move because the whole plan along at that year's elimination, like was our Royal Rumble, was to have Warrior pop in at number 1 and earn his way to the main event of Do or Die, which is our WrestleMania. So he's sitting here saying, oh, you don't want to drop the title to me. It's not that you don't want to drop the title. It's just you don't want to drop the title to me. X has been on an absolute tear. I think it would be fucking stupid if I dropped the title only for him to drop the title only 3 weeks later. So that's where you can see my frustration because I'm like, I think it would have made a bigger deal if I was still the champion. We popped in. We need to find some way to include Red X and have him lose while also looking strong. So like I say we should do a strap match or a last man standing. I mean, some of this shit happened a year ago. I can't really tell you the two. Like I can't really be too in depth. So fast forward, I remember the entire group chat completely just said, no, you're losing the fucking title. And I'm just here like, it makes 0 sense to drop the title when I've been the champion for like 400, like at that point, like 401 days. And it should have been me passing the torch on to someone new because I was pretty popular. I like to say I was among the top 3 most popular. It was me, Warrior, and Ace.
From WCEF, right?
Yeah. Warrior winning was always going to be the plan, except I didn't agree a lot with Red X winning the strap for me because I thought it didn't make any sense. And then that didn't help much that I was kept off the build for about 4 weeks until Do or Die. So they focused more so on Red X and Warrior instead of me coming back. I think that was probably one of the most frustrating parts of the entire thing, because I had been holding down the fort for so long, and to be demoted to a background role, it was more like they kicked me out of creative, basically, and I was just popping up every now and then. I was just popping up to wrestle. And, I mean, obviously I had my creative freedom to say what I wanted to say, do what I wanted to do, but it was just, it got to a point where I wasn't even believing what I was saying anymore. It was just like, oh, I'm the guy. When even I didn't even believe, I felt like I wasn't believable enough to even contend for the title again. And what was funny was, after Do or Die, my number one plan was to go away, because I thought that would have been the most. It would have been better to just, since I was on top that whole time, it was better to just take a backseat for a while. Because then, like, even after Do or Die, I was still planning on leaving to, like, go to college and shit. So I think that would have been the perfect ending.
Like a good way to have some closure, you're saying?
Yeah, basically, because I wanted to have a little, like, close that chapter of the title reign.
There you go.
Because I knew it was good. I knew it was really fucking good until they practically forced it off of me. So that wasn't the case. So I think around that point, I was like, okay, they're in it because they don't want me to be the champion. They think I'm being power hungry and wanting to keep it for X amount of time, when this whole time I really just wanted shit to make sense.
True.
And then eventually, like, the whole plan was, okay, Warrior wins the title. And the thing is, he wanted me to take the pin, which I thought was, okay, whatever, I'll take the pin, because I think he wanted to do Red X versus Warrior in, like, a one-off, which was honestly probably one of the worst feuds ever. Because I think another thing that really irked me was, I was told that my creative, like, I was told that I made the mid-card titles. Yeah, I got told I got told by the owner himself that I made the mid-card titles look like absolute shit, which I wasn't trying to. It's just how it happened. I remember 2021 was just the worst it had ever been, and a lot of shit happened that was honestly really fucking stupid. And so Warrior's my brother, and I'm like, okay, like, if I'm booking his title reign, I'm gonna make it a banger title reign. Yeah. But that wasn't the case. I think he made my brother, no matter how much he wants to say he loves my brother, he made my brother look like a fucking chump every single time he went out there. And that's not what he was. The absolute red, white, and blue type of babyface Warrior was. And the fact that you made him look like the biggest joke, it kind of speaks volumes. I mean, like, look, don't get me wrong. This is backyard fucking wrestling. It's not that serious, but
exactly.
I'm not gonna depict him as Mark as a bad person. I have, like, nothing to say about that. It's just what it looked like to me. So in that point, I'm like, okay, he's not giving my brother the title reign he should be getting. So it kind of speaks volumes even more so.
I see. And I just want to jump in real quick. Like, I could relate with that, like, the booking, because in ACW, I'm pretty much the main bookers, like, even though there's, like, other bookers, so I'm like the one that in charge of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, like,
so like, I try to
keep people happy.
Like, keep it booked. But the thing is, like, for example, like, my title run, like, everybody says, oh, like, Derrick Destroyer is overrated because, he's 3 times ACW champion. But the thing is, I never wanted to become 3-time ACW champion. It happened because, people wouldn't want to show up, or, like, they wouldn't want to go with it,
Yeah.
So, like, our first episode, it was our first video, so we have, like, no knowledge of what we were doing. We were just recording for fun,
Yeah.
Then we had this kid. His name was Angel the Soccer Boy. That was his backyard name. So I think he held the title for like 149 days. But the thing is, ever since he won the title, he never showed up to any tapings whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like we're talking to the guys, we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like our champion's not here. He doesn't want to show up. And the thing that's kind of hypocritical is that I remember one time I had to pay him just to make him show up. Like it's not that I don't want to do that. It's just like, remember, this is backyard wrestling. It's for fun. Like we're doing this for fun and all that, but people don't really understand what we are really trying to do. Yeah. So anyways, for the third time I won the title, it's pretty much the same mistake of what the first guy did. So, this kid, his name was Chonchin, he won the title. He actually showed up for like future tapings, but like he was some kind of a hypocrite about it. He was like, "Oh, I'll go if you do this or if you do that,"
Uh-huh.
Then like everybody from the back didn't really like the idea of that. He was kind of like, how will I say? Like demanding stuff that wasn't necessary. So, we kicked him out because, that's what everybody voted on. Because the way I see with ACW is that, this is everybody. This ain't just a one-man show. Because, like, a lot of people always tell me, like, congrats on, like, we just reached 100 subscribers. I mean, not 100, 1,000. Like, that's crazy to say. Like, I can't believe we actually reached 1,000 subscribers. And a lot of people are telling me, congrats, Efren, congrats. But the thing is, like, sure, I was a part of it, but I wasn't the wheel. Like, everybody was a part of it,
Yeah.
Like, the way I see with ACW, like, we're like a car. So I might be the engine, but someone is the wheels. Someone is the steering wheel. Someone is the engine. Someone's the oil, the gasoline, stuff like that. So we all work together to make it run. So, I mean, I can't say, negative things about people because, what if you were in their shoes, So every little situation is differently. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do,
Yeah, always. Yeah. So I guess at this point, I was just frustrated. I was like, I'm not also like frustrated. I mean, again, like I said, it's really not that fucking serious.
Right.
But I was more like, okay, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, it was like everything I've been trying to like build up has just been, and I even got accused of like burying motherfuckers and making them want to quit.
Damn.
Yeah, making them want to quit, and I'm just like, there's no way it could have been that fucking bad. There's no way. Because I remember Black Mamba, one of the guys that just came back recently. Didn't really show up. He didn't really practice, so like I didn't push him. Like if you're not gonna give time and effort and be good, then what am I gonna put you in these high profile matches for? I mean, I gave you a title first, but that's really it. You legitimately weren't good at what you did. But I mean, like, granted, he turned it all around. He's probably one of the better acts on there now. He is. But,
exactly.
Yeah. So at this point, which I said, which is after Do or Die, I think this was just like a moment where I stepped away, but I think at this point I was happy I stepped away because I felt like this is getting a little out of hand. So basically the year went on, 2021 finished off. It was honestly okay.
Yeah.
For me at least. I think I put on some quality fucking bangers. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I like the match against you and Jacob, Like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it could have been. I definitely think that we could have done a lot more.
Right.
But hey, like, this is two guys that have never wrestled each other in a straight up wrestling match. So I mean, hey, it's gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
So,
but you can't blame yourself because that was the first time you guys had a match, and
exactly.
You guys did the best you could,
Yeah, exactly, and that's all that really matters. And speaking of that, like, I never heard the end of, oh my god, Red X and William Barker. It was, but like, it was a good match, in my opinion. I mean, like, there's just no reason for it.
Yeah.
I got that shoved down my throat so much too. It was like, oh, me and William had match of the night. You can ask anybody. I'm just like, dog, like, I don't give a fuck. It's just I only cared about the whole like dream match. Plus, like, the whole reason, like, I even like wanted to do this was to have the match with Jacob, and that was back when Jacob had that fucking long ass fucking hair. Like, God, Jesus Christ.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, I think like, Jacob was. I really want to wrestle Jacob again. I do. Okay,
So
so
there was this inside joke when I did my crossover with the BTW guys. There was
yeah.
RJS, Jacob Wayne, Marshall Paul, William Barker. Who else?
Yeah.
Swift was there. So, anyways, we go out and get some dinner. Like kind of like the steakhouse and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we're sitting around in a table, and Jacob, he's sitting in front of me, and I'm looking at him. Just like because I was like, he looks familiar. Then I fucking announced to the whole table that like, is it me or does Jacob Wayne look like Ezekiel, Elias' brother? And everybody started laughing, and now they started realizing that. So, in some of the tapings of BTW, they're like, "Oh my God, look, it's Ezekiel's brother of some sort."
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool because like they would always say jokes about Jacob Wayne, like they'll be like, "Jacob, I want to be Batman Wayne" or something like that,
Yeah.
And it was cool to be a part of that inside joke. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like Jacob, I feel like Jacob Wayne, the character, is just so fucking easy to make fun of. Like,
for real,
I think Jacob does such a good job of just pissing people off. It's unbelievable how much heat he can get on himself. It's fucking hilarious. And the thing is, Jacob again too. He's such a down to earth fucking guy. William too. I love those guys. Paul, I'm gonna whoop Paul's ass one day. I promise.
Please, dude. Did you know he almost broke my legs?
Jesus Christ! I don't believe that. Motherfucker is kind of green in the ring. I'm not gonna lie.
He is. He doesn't like. It's not that he doesn't know how to work. It's just okay. So, we were in a tag match, and kayfabe. I was playing as Skullface because the character that plays Skullface was in there.
Yeah.
So I was filling in. So we were having a tag match. It was Skullface and RTG versus I think it was William Barker versus Marshall Paul. So, anyways, Marshall, he picks me up for a suplex, but instead of like doing a vertical where it's you know how a suplex works, right? So, anyways, when he picks me up, he throws me to the side instead of all the way back. So my legs hits the frame of the trampoline, and one of my shoes go flying off. And I was so much pain because my calves, like, what if I got injured because of fucking Marshall Paul?
I have to have a match with him. I have to. There's just no way.
I mean, he's a cool guy, to be honest. Years. Yeah, out of the yard, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I mean, like I think he carries himself pretty well, and I think he should stop wrestling in fucking boots. That's terrible. I think he looks ridiculous.
I mean, not that it's a bad idea, but like, it's better if you do it with shoes because it's more comfortable. By the way,
Exactly. I think it just looks fucking ridiculous. I think he should just change his whole attire. To be honest, I think it's Jesus Christ. I don't know how you can fucking wrestle and all of that shit. I mean, like, I know. Me personally, with my gear, I threw on like fucking fleece cotton shorts, fucking muscle shirt, an arm sleeve, and just like I don't even use regular ass like wrist tape anymore. I just use like a little strap on fucking strap. What the fuck? Little like you get them from Walmart. You just strap them on your wrists. So I'm just like, well, fuck, it's easier. So
exactly, like with my attire, it's pretty much just like black sweat Adidas with knee pads and kick pads and wrist tape. I guess just something default. Like if you're making a wrestling game, if you're creating your character, something like that. But when you look at Marshall Paul, it looks like a guy from the street from Texas or something.
Yeah. I have been looking into like upgrading my attire. I was thinking either to just do regular knee pads or fucking straight up like kick pads. I don't know. I'm just like it's in the process. It's a process to be made. So, back on topic. I think on camera, I was gone from like October till. October till March. Yeah, around there. Because like I remember when I was leaving for college, I recorded one last final feud, and then I just dipped. I remember my last match too. It was against Ace. My most favorite matches ever. Merely because of like name ban. I remember being told, "This is my last match for a while. We need to absolutely fucking tear the house down." And that day, I wrestled my heart out. I did everything I possibly could to get at least. So I left. Everything in between was just, I'm not gonna say like WCF was good, like super. At that time, it's just I booked my own feud, so I guess hence why it was kind of good. So I was gone, didn't really do much. And then I remember coming back. The War for pay-per-view was about to happen. It was gonna be in front of a live crowd. I was like, okay, so I really want to be back for this. I mean, I think it'd be nice if they summon Savior, and I go back in and join the match. And so they're like, okay, like just be here at this time. We'll make it happen. I'm like, all right. I didn't really do much. I literally just showed up on the last episode before like the big match, and then I wrestled the match. So it's not really like I did much. I remember training so much for that fucking match. I was on the treadmill every fucking day for like a month straight. I literally ran so like I wouldn't die in that match. Thank God I exceeded expectations and I fucking like killed it in that match. I thought it was probably one of the most fun matches of my entire career, quote unquote career.
Right.
So he was going over who was going out first. And see, you would think that me being and all that, I would at least get an elimination. I would at least get all this shit at the very least. So I'm out first, and I'm thinking to myself, this is ridiculous because storyline wise, High Flyer had been booked as like probably the weakest, literally the weakest character on like at that point.
Okay.
And he got an elimination over me. And I'm like, at that point, I was like, okay. I just accepted it. I'm like, there's honestly probably no way I would ever get back to those heights ever again. Because the fact that I'm gonna take an L to someone, okay, so basically in the elimination match, it was 3-on-3. It was kind of like NXT War Games.
Okay.
So I was out. I got eliminated first, and something just didn't sit right with me with that. And I guess it was because the weakest guy on the roster got elimination, and I was given the boot. I mean, like, I guess it worked in that point, but after that, I mean, I had to make it look good, but I think after that, it was like, okay, this is fucking stupid. This is ridiculous. But I mean, like, I guess, but like at that point, I kind of had to like swallow my pride because I was like, okay, this is it. It makes this other guy look good because we're gonna feud later down the line. It is what it is. I don't care. And I think I always had this theory, like, hey, I don't know why these people don't like me. I guess it's because they think it's an ego thing. They think maybe I'm trying to put myself above others when it's really not the case. I just like to do things that make sense.
True.
So I guess that's something else that added a layer on. And so I returned again in May. Yeah, it was in May. So I started a program with Tamatoa. To be honest, I literally had to rewrite that whole thing because I think the way it was written was just complete dog shit.
Okay.
So I rewrote it. We had the match. I had the match. It was really good. I mean, like, I'm not going to say, I mean, I did complain on winning. I was like, man, homeboy, literally, I felt like my life was in jeopardy. Fucker was so unsafe. But then again, like, at the same time, it didn't really help much that I started off the match back of the head as hard as I could with the fucking title belt. And I can see why that can legitimately, like, could 100% piss you the fuck off. Because who wants to be clocked over the head with a metal title belt as hard as he possibly could
right away, from the beginning?
Exactly. And like homeboy was literally like stiffing me. I'm like, fuck, I fucked up. God damn it.
Yeah.
No, because like I'm usually pretty safe, except just that night only. After not working matches for like a fucking long time.
True.
I was probably I was probably pretty fucking unsafe. And okay, so what happened was I hit him with head.
Yeah.
And then I fucking threw a trash can in his face.
And I remember that.
I don't know what to say about it. I think I was pretty fucking unsafe. But I like to think that we had match of the night because not only did we get the biggest reaction, not only did we have the biggest pop whenever he fucking won, I put someone else over in the process. I mean, homeboy beat the 400-day longest reigning champion in the world, or champion in history. So I thought right then and there, that was probably a good way to go out. So what followed, at the time, like, I was pretty pissed off about it, but now I can see, like, it's fucking whatever. I don't care. Some source told me that I manipulated Ace into doing a death match, and I thought that was fucking stupid. Because, well, like, it wasn't, like, if you're a grown ass man doing it, like, it's fucking whatever. Like, do what you want to do with your body. I mean, me personally couldn't catch me doing that type of shit, even though it's coming from the guy that literally went through fucking thumbtacks, and that was.
I could relate with that, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but like, was literally an adult versus a fucking kid, and this kid got his ass whooped with light tubes, with a bunch of shit, and like, what pissed me off even more in that moment was, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, that match was genuinely good. I thought the shit that they did was genuinely fucking cool, except the part with the weapons. It was more so like, I'm more pissed off that it's a grown man whooping a minor's ass.
True.
I thought that was fucking ridiculous.
Like how you said, like, people get mad at you because you're trying to make sense. Like with that, I'm like, you know, in the wrestling match, we're telling stories, right?
Yeah.
And like, that's where the weapons come in. Like, you could use weapons to tell a story as well. But like, you use weapons just for the heck of it, then it doesn't look as good compared when you actually like trying to tell a story with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, they did it was a death match. So I mean, like, I guess they were both in the build. They were both like whooping each other's asses.
Yeah.
I guess in the process, I think what really pissed me off the most was it was a minor getting his ass whooped by a full ass adult, and that just didn't sit right with me. And I think another,
visualizing it doesn't look that good, you know, when you look at it, you know.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good. It was a good match. It was fine.
Yeah.
It's just the simple fact. And I was told that he manipulated him into doing it. I mean, granted, like, I wasn't there. Take that with a grain of salt. This is just what I heard from an anonymous source. So
I see.
Then the next match was the main event. It was my brother versus Apollo Blade versus Black Mamba. The match was honestly fucking trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't that good. It was mainly because how the fuck do you follow a death match? How do you follow everyone witnessing a grown man whoop a minor's ass, go through thumbtacks?
True.
Follow that. And then there was one point where the referee accidentally counted to 3. So, like, editing obviously saved it, but that happened. And we were all talking about how we need to, like, cut the match. And the fact that the match was just, like, so bad, and then the owner, Mark, was like, well, we need to go longer. And it's just like, this match is already a clusterfuck. Why do we want to have this go longer? Quality over quantity. You know how
exactly. So I mean, I wasn't the way I would have thought about it is like, if you have like a match that would, like, you think that would pull off all the stops, you should put that match to the end, you know?
Yeah.
Because it makes sense, because like, you want to end it with a banger, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So the referee counts to 3. It gets fucked up. They turn off the camera. They try to improvise as much as they can. I remember Mark was just standing there. He didn't give a fuck. It's like, as long as his match was a fucking banger, that's all that mattered. So like, that's the way this is the way I saw it, at least. And I see. I was just like, this is fucking stupid. And then the match finally comes to an end. Ace cashes in, wins the strap. That's really it.
Yeah.
And so I think that right there was the final straw, because the main event ended up being completely dog shit.
Okay.
And he just, like, looked at everyone like a deer in headlights, and he was just like, he gave off this I don't give a fuck attitude. as long as my match was good, I don't give a fuck. So
I see.
That's kind of like what was stirring the pot even more. Was just he did that. Then I remember after we all talked about it, and I was just like, dude, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. My head hurts. You don't give a fuck about your talent. I'm just over it. And I remember I left, and then I remember I went on this one like tirade. I was like, okay, how much money did we make? He gave the money we made. And I'm like, okay, when do we get our cut? Half of us drive. Almost all of us have a fucking headache. We work jobs, either in college, work jobs, drive. That's gas money right there. I don't go fuck.
I know.
$40, $50. I can fucking use that for gas.
Especially nowadays,
Yeah, and like then he said, nobody's getting paid, and I'm like, why shouldn't we all get paid for what we just did out there? We just had the biggest show of the fucking year. All of us whooped our own asses. We got our asses whooped for that. Me and Toa have fucking headaches. He's got fucked up and thrown his head. Wrestled the opener and the end. He wrestled 3 matches that night. Sean Morgan was looking like a fucking chump getting pinned by Otto of all people. I just thought yesterday was a fucking disaster. I mean, like, matches were good, but for the most part, like, mentally, it was just a fucking disaster. So why aren't we getting paid? That's fucking stupid. I thought we should have all gotten paid that day. And then at that point, I was just like, so we're not getting paid. And he was like, no. And I'm like, all right, well, looks like you're not going to have Savior or Warrior. Because you see, it's fucking bullshit. I mean, like, and so we both left. So we left, and it's definitely, I think it did get them where it hurt. Like, they kind of made them build more stars and shit. But
yeah,
in my opinion, I thought, like, this isn't going to get any better. He doesn't give a fuck about who was wrestling. It's just, it doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, you shouldn't treat people like that, Like, no matter what.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And this is just off of, like, my perspective. This is what I saw. I thought it was really fucking stupid.
Right.
So,
see, like, with my guys from ACW, like, after a taping, because, like, half of them, or mostly them, they're not in the trailer park, because that's where, we grew up in a trailer park, and that's where we film,
Yeah.
So, like, everybody has to, like, drive, across town to get down here and all that. And the way I like to see it is, like, if they help me, create content for this channel, I like to reward them, because that's the way I see, because, like, they're helping me out, and I'm grateful for that. So, like, sometimes, like, we'll order pizza, or, like, we'll go buy chips and watch a movie, or, like, I'll take them out for ice cream. Like, that's the way I see myself with ACW guys, because, like, we're a team, and, like, it's good to be there for your team, and, like, keep, I don't know how you say it, like, keep their positive attitude up or something like that. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but, just reward them. It's good to reward people,
Yeah.
Because, you seen the movie The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
The Batman movie. Do you remember what the Joker said?
Yeah.
He was like, good at something, you should never do it for free.
Yeah. I mean,
that right there is a good quote.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like, it's really not that fucking serious. I mean,
yeah,
it's backyard wrestling, but I think, like, that could have worked his company. Could have been fucking, like, me making those trips. The fact that I didn't get gas money, because, see, I live about, like, maybe close to an hour away at this point. Like, from, like,
see, I was gonna say how far you lived. Okay.
Yeah, like, close to an hour. Like, with traffic, close to an hour. So I'm driving, and, like, that's literally some fucking gas money. Like, that's gas, like, I could have used. Like, there was no reason for any of that.
True.
So I guess that's where the story ended. I know they ended up copping. They copped Delta over there. That's how, like, I met him. Or that's how I was able to meet up with him. So,
I see.
Yeah, they got. Me and Delta ended up, like, talking to one another. I gave him my side of the story, and I felt like
that's pretty cool.
I think it was only fitting that I come on here and tell my side of the story.
Right.
I was even there's even shit said like, oh, I was being overly protective and wasn't letting my brother hang out with the WCF guys. Like, I don't give a fuck who my brother hangs out with.
Yeah.
He's 17 years old. He can fucking do whatever he wants to do. I don't care. Like, why should he be manipulated and not doing shit by his fucking 20-year-old brother over trampoline wrestling? Like, that's fucking stupid.
Uh-huh.
I think I even remembered the guy who plays Slayer. He doesn't fucking like me. I think he's just I don't know why he doesn't like me. I tried my best to make him look good too. So I don't know. I don't think he's always, I think he's feel like he's always had it out for me in a way. But to be honest, that's kind of where the story ends. We've talked to any of those guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you and just say like I'm buddy. Like, I haven't like me and Mark squashed the beef, but like it's just I'm not going back there. I will never go back to WCEF ever again because I know how things will stand, and because I remember Jacob. He pitched something to Mark, and they were like, "Oh, well, Savior's never allowed here ever again." And I'm like, well, there goes that idea. So I'm never gonna go back there ever again. One, because I don't want to. I genuinely don't think I ever want to go back. And two, because apparently I'm forbid from going back to WCF ever again. So if anyone that wants to see me back there, hey, you're never gonna get it. So
I mean, we may see him again, just not there, you know? Depends how the future takes us, you know?
Yeah, I believe that. I think that everything happens for a reason, and I just know that it's not over for me. So I don't know who was listening out there, but it's not over. The journey does continue. I do want to take my brother wherever too, because I feel like if we have Savior and Warrior in the same company, you'll have a good time. But for now, I've just been prepping my body, trying to get into the better shape, because I do want to have another run. I do see myself wrestling some more. Some matches I do for sure want to do. I do want to have a match with Delta. I do want to get a second match in with Jacob Wayne. I do want to fight RJS. I do want to fight Mr. Derrick Destroyer. I want to have matches. I do want to have more matches, obviously. If I can make it to Oregon, and hell, I mean, even if I can go to the CBW boys, I mean, YOLO, am I right? But
yeah, for real.
Now, I think for now is just we're calling it for now. It's not a goodbye. It's see you later.
Or just taking a break, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been on hiatus since June. I don't think everybody got to see the best me I could have possibly been. Yeah. Because the last match I had, I was literally getting over fucking sickness. So, like, I was congested and out of breath. And I feel like that was the worst shape I've ever been in on camera.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, like, that freshman 15 kind of gets you at some point.
It does. I mean, your body takes a beating, you know? It's good to, like, you know, let it, you know, rest and, like, just take a break, you know? Once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been doing my best to get my eating habits up in check. I've been working out. Yeah. I've been doing school, getting my mind off of wrestling as a whole, because I felt like at one point I felt like it was just super toxic. I felt like I was losing myself and just constantly being like, oh, well, I made those. I felt like I helped make those motherfuckers. Why am I getting kicked to the curb? I have no ill will to anybody. Like, it's fucking pointless to hate anybody over fucking backyard wrestling. Like, that's fucking stupid.
Exactly.
I do want to say that I don't have any beef with anybody there. I hate anybody. If I know some people might be like, oh, well, what will it take for us to get a Savior return in WCF? I genuinely don't know. If the right idea or if a bridge can be built between us, maybe, but I'm not going to sit here and say that you'll ever see me again. Well, maybe reword that. But for now, you won't see me there again. I think for now it's just a stopping point.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I was able to put whoever I was able to put over and do all that. It was fun for what it was. I think the high point in there was doing everything I guess being in there with my brother, fight of wrestling in a crowd with my brother. I think the crossover with Jacob Wayne. I mean, hey, it's been a year. I do want to end up wrestling Jacob again. I want to shake off the ring rust and do what I got to do.
Yeah.
But I do know for sure that if I go and have another match again anywhere, wherever that might be, I don't think you'll be seeing the same guy you saw in June. Because I think if you stay in the past, then you don't truly get anywhere.
Sure.
So I think I honestly have been thinking about a lot of shit. I've been thinking about revamping my character, revamping my presentation.
Okay.
All I can say is right now, I think we're going to be getting the Savior name for now. I don't think we're going to have that. I'm thinking leaning more towards a first and last name. Wherever you see me, I will be donning the new name. I might be donning the new attire. Or maybe I might just say fuck you and just be Savior again. For now, we're gonna put a bookmark in that chapter. So
okay,
that's it for now. If to be honest, if you want me on your roster, fuck, let me finish school first. God damn.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say anything, but yeah.
Exactly. And plus, man, I'm a broke college student. I don't know if anybody realized. I can't be going to Michigan or fucking California. I can't be doing that shit. I gotta be. Goddamn, if I had all the money in the world, I would definitely go everywhere if I could.
See, like with me, I'm not in school, but like I am busting my ass, you know.
Yeah.
Because like for example, like last year, I literally drove to North Carolina. I don't know if a lot of people could have done that dedication like how I was, you know.
Oh no, I think I'd kill myself.
Yeah, a 20-hour drive. Imagine that, and another 20-hour drive back home. So that's a 40-hour drive total.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done that. I think that would just drive me insane. To be honest.
Yeah. No, but like I was so dedicated to it because, you know, with Caution, I was feuding with him since the start of our channels, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like kind of like a perfect feud because I was the doctor, he was the virus, and the whole story, the whole build-up was beautiful. And people, you know, there were some folks who actually gave up on it, but like the people that didn't, the people that still believed in it, you know, were grateful because we actually got to achieve what we were trying to do years ago, you know?
Yeah.
And now this year, I traveled to Oregon to BTW.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Like, that's just crazy because, like, I legit never thought I would have actually been in that channel with some of the CBW guys, which is pretty dope at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, overall, I would say I liked my run. Like, I felt my run was pretty good because I got to, you know, when I won the title, I won the Rumble, which was also my debut match. I got to face Swift at Mania, which I thought that match was pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was really good. Nobody knows this yet, but I was actually plans fell through.
You did mention that, yes.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there. I was gonna show up. The original plan was for me to pop up and face Swift for the world title. I think I'm allowed to say that now that season 4 is coming to an end pretty soon. But I do kind of regret not going. I think it would have been really fucking amazing just being there again with Jacob, William, RJS, the guys. 2 guys I do want to get in the ring with for sure. RJS, BES, maybe that big boy RTG, and we'll see what happens. I do know for sure, like, one dream thing I do want to do. I want to get on top of the fucking stairs and just dive onto everybody. Like, that's one thing I genuinely want to do because I just feel like I'm good at crossbodies and frog splashes. So I think that shit would just be like insane.
See, like when I arrived there, I was looking at the stairs, and it was cool because like maybe not for me because I don't think I'll be able to, but like I feel like it'll be cool to like at least take a dive from someone from the top stairs,
Yeah, just like catch them.
They have like the potential to do it,
Yeah, I mean, like that's never really been anything like particularly like freaked me out. I mean, like I feel like I fucking just say YOLO and just jump, but
yeah. And people say, how the hell did he learn how to fall?
Yeah, exactly. I know for sure like there's some dream matches in BTW that I do want to get through. I think what I really I am excited for the future, and if everything goes according to plan, like I think they should, or I think they will, then I think maybe we're closer than ever to making those dreams a reality.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to rebrand myself, do everything I possibly do, just have a good time again. Because I remember for a while I fell out of love with this. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go through do or die to leave again. That's really fucking it. But after watching Jacob Wayne and watching RJS and all of them invade CBW, honestly, like it kind of rejuvenated my love for this. And then watching you make your debut in BTW, everything like all that has really rejuvenated my love for this. And for that, if it wasn't for BTW, if it wasn't for Beyond the Yard, if it wasn't for all this shit, I don't think I'd still be here. I don't think I'd still be trying to like put in the work to make a return.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like to me, like I feel like I've done like some great accomplishment, like not just in ACW, but like for example, like the podcast. Like for people that really like the people that really enjoy the episodes with different guests I have on the show. If they really enjoy it, I'm glad because they're the listeners and they get to listen to our stories.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, when I actually traveled and had my feud with Caution at Devil's Night with him, he was so proud of that moment that he brought back TWF and like did some more tapings. And I thought that was pretty cool because I helped him, bring back that love, just like how you said,
Yeah.
Then with BTW, it's kind of similar with you, but like, I hope you could probably be not in BTW, but like in a different federation. And hopefully I could have a chance to, work with you.
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel like I think with the right storytelling, we can create some magic. I feel like that's the case with anybody. I do hope, Derrick, I really hope we get that opportunity. I really do.
Oh, definitely. I mean, just imagine the stuff we could have done in the match,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like even if I had the money, I would have gone over the ACW. I would have snagged their world title, huh?
That would be nice. Your contract expires and you run away with the title.
I mean, if you're some other champion and I end up in BTW, if you're gonna put that title on the line, I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but just know I'm gonna take that title from you, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, only time could tell,
You're right.
If you're willing to put the work in or the effort behind it, then I'm all for it. You know that.
Exactly. Anything I want, I take. You should know this by now.
If you're willing to put 100% effort, I'm willing to put 110% more. I mean, just that's what helps motivate me,
Exactly.
Everybody works differently, but besides backyard wrestling or Beyond the Yard, what's your thoughts on Deadpool 3?
Deadpool 3. Okay, so I've been, oh my god. So I didn't watch the Logan movies until maybe like not too long ago. So
I haven't seen the Logan movie yet.
Yeah. I mean, like they're not bad. I mean, like okay. I've heard they've kind of been like bleh, but when I found out he was gonna be Wolverine again, and then Deadpool 3, that was holy shit. Like I fucking like popped for that shit. I was at work. I was like, holy fuck, holy shit, it's fucking Hugh Jackman. What the fuck? It's like it's ridiculous. fucking ridiculous. And the fact that I'm gonna be out of college at that point, watching Deadpool 3, like that's kind of fucking sad, low key. Because I remember I was 15 when Deadpool 2 came out, and
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, did you know? I know that's gonna be sad, but did you know Deadpool is the only Marvel character that knows that Stan Lee passed away? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Because he kind of breaks the fourth wall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But knowing that, because like, what's his name? Ryan Reynolds, he said that, you know, Logan died in Logan, but they're not gonna touch that subject, you know?
Yeah.
So I wonder how they're gonna bring Wolverine in the movie. Like that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll definitely work.
I remember when I was younger, I always thought that Wolverine, I always thought his name was X-Men, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's a lot of,
because he would always do that X gesture, you know? And I thought that was his name, X-Men. But later that I found out that X-Men was actually, you know, their team and whatnot. But what do you think of the Black Adam?
I've never been much of a DC movie kind of guy, but
you're more of a Marvel fan?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, but like, I think if it's not Spider-Man, it's definitely Deadpool. Like, it's like it's the top two for sure. But for DC, if it's not Spider-Man for Marvel, it's definitely Batman for DC.
Oh yeah.
I honestly didn't even fucking know who Black Adam was at first, but I mean, like, The Rock's gonna portray him, so it should be good. I mean, I think we'll be chilling with a pretty good fucking script there.
I remember years ago, like a decade ago, like The Rock wanted to play as Black Adam, and 10 years later, you know, he's starring as Black Adam. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Because I don't think The Rock has been in any superhero movie before.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's mainly just done his own shit.
For real, I mean, he's making what? He made it the Fast and Furious spinoff?
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, Roman Reigns was in it. That was cool. I remember hearing an interview that Roman Reigns actually botched in the movie. he knocked out the cameraman when he threw the X or something.
Did he really?
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was pretty funny. In your opinion, what are you more into, WWE or AEW?
To be honest, I haven't really been able to like watch either of them live too much because I work on Mondays and Fridays and I have class on Wednesdays, so it's not really like I have a whole lot of time to do much.
Okay.
But I've been liking a lot with what's been happening with WWE. I think that shit's been like amazing ever since Triple H took over.
So see, that's what I was thinking. Like, you get something new on the table. Yeah, exactly.
And I think he brought back Imperium. He brought back the Good Brothers. He brought back Braun Strowman. I'm like, it's okay, but brought back Gargano. Called up Tommaso Ciampa.
Mm-hmm.
He brought back Riddle and Theory's first names. I mean, hey, it's been pretty fun. I think it's really nice to be a wrestling fan right now. I mean, hey, like we even got Brock Lesnar coming back on Monday. So
I know.
I mean, like I actually cop tickets for the Royal Rumble that's coming in January.
No way! Did you?
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. So
because I remember the Royal Rumble is happening in San Antonio? Is it?
Yeah. That's where I'm from. I'm from around there. I am from San Antonio. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like right there. From my crib, it's like about a 20-minute drive. Not even like 15-minute drive. So
I see. What events have you gone to? Pro wrestling, like to WWE
I've gone to my normal share of like Raw and SmackDowns, live events. I went to one TNA event. It was in 2013. I didn't even fucking know who any of the guys were. I think I knew who I knew Jeff Hardy, but that was about it.
Okay.
And I went to Dynamite in March. That was the last time I saw full Dynamite because I've just been fucking busy. I've had zero time. And that was before I realized like a streaming service to watch like AEW and stuff. So
okay,
I've kind of just been in my own. I mean, like I watch clips on like YouTube and stuff and like Instagram. Mm-hmm. That's really about it. But
I see.
More so with like wrestling. That's really all I really know, to be honest. Like WWE and AEW. I mean, like I only know like of like New Japan because I know that's where like Kenny Omega came from. I know that's like there's like Okada, Jay White.
True.
I only really knew of New Japan because Jericho, because Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler of all time, and
he's one of the goats, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. In April, I saw him in concert, so motherfucker was right
Oh
there,
yeah,
like 5 feet away from me. Yeah.
I think
So
I saw a video of it that you posted.
Yeah. He got. I remember for the final song he did Judas, and I remember just fucking screaming. My girlfriend was there with me, and I was just like, "Holy fuck! It's fucking Jericho! It's fucking Chris Jericho!"
Does she have any knowledge of Chris Jericho or?
No, I mean like she doesn't really watch wrestling. She's kind of
okay.
I kind of forced her into it. So
okay.
yeah. So I remember a few times like she wanted me to go and like cuddle with her, and I was like, "The fuck! I'm here playing 2K22 because I just bought it." I'm like, "Yeah, leave me alone." So
I remember I was supposed to go on a date with this girl.
yeah.
But you know, I bought tickets to Monday Night Raw, but you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, hey, like wrestling over anything.
For real. Like one time, you know, I was hanging out and I was watching WrestleMania with the guys, and this girl, she was like, "Hey, do you want to spend the night over?" And I was like, "I can't. I have WrestleManias tonight." I thought that was pretty funny. No, but you know, I got to experience Monday Night Raw and SmackDown every single year. So I've been to Raw and SmackDown like 5 consecutive years. So I thought that was pretty nice. But this year I got to witness AEW All Out.
Yeah, the one where Punk won the title back, right?
Yeah, from Moxley.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere was different compared to a WWE event.
Oh yeah, because everyone's just like goes apeshit crazy. It's the crowd's like alive.
I know, but it just feels so crazy because I remember I was in Iowa and the event happened in Chicago, Illinois, and so I drove 6 hours after work, so I didn't have time to get breakfast or anything. I didn't, I was so exhausted from work, so I drove for 6 hours, and I was waiting like an hour outside until they opened the doors. And I was cheering, and I was like, I felt like a kid, like seeing CM Punk.
Yeah.
They're like I legit, I would thought I would have never seen CM Punk because, back then, like years ago, he said he would never come back to wrestling again,
Yeah.
And it feels good because I got to see Toby come back. I got to see CM Punk come back.
Yeah.
It's like my childhood kicking in.
No, exactly. I think it's definitely a wild time to be a wrestling fan. I really can't wait for the Rumble because some guest returns popping up. I know for sure. I have a hunch that Cody's gonna be back. And
see, that's what I was thinking too. That
yeah,
he might win the Rumble or like at least return.
Yeah, I think for sure. And I think somehow Triple H is gonna summon The Rock, and we're gonna get Rock and Roman. So
that would be pretty cool. But
yeah.
But if you were to guess, who would be your pick for the Rumble?
I'm thinking Cody Rhodes. I gotta take Cody Rhodes. I mean, like, I think he's the most deserving of a world title right now. I think he might end up being the guy to dethrone Roman Reigns, but I'm not sure because I know they want to get The Rock and they want to get a bunch of other shit going on. So
right, but I wonder how they're gonna do it. Like, The Rock's gonna come back. If he does come back, he'll be like, "Well, before you were the head of the table, I was the people's champion or something like that."
Yeah, I think
that's how I feel that the feud is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm thinking like they'll do a thing where it's like they get. I think maybe the rest of the family's like, okay, he's getting a little too out of control, and then we get The Rock coming back to try and put Roman in his place, and then we get The Rock back for one more match.
For real. I mean, we got to witness Stone Cold last match again.
Exactly. That was fucking madness.
That match against Kevin Owens. What a way to end the WrestleMania night 1.
Exactly. And he actually wasn't that bad.
For real. Like, sure, like
he was
it went everywhere,
stiff,
but
I'm not gonna lie, but he was bumping
the match was
around.
pretty entertaining, like I got entertained.
Exactly. It was ridiculous. I remember even when Cody came back,
I got goosebumps when I heard the intro of the song.
Yeah, I mean, it was like wrestling has more than one royal family, and I remember just fucking jumping up and down with that shit.
Me too, and like, because when I was watching it, back with my friend's house, they weren't they weren't really watching AEW, so they don't know Cody Rhodes' theme, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I was like more aware of Cody Rhodes coming back. I mean, I knew that he was coming back because he signed a contract with WWE.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, and even like after he left AEW, it kind of slowly started to make sense why he left too, because like with all like the backstage drama and shit. So
yeah,
it's kind of like, damn,
I remember, but I grew up watching AEW since the beginning. I thought that was pretty cool to be there since the beginning of something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I wasn't alive for the Monday Night Wars, but I got to be there for like the Wednesday Night Wars, the TNA. No, not TNA. NXT versus AEW. I thought that was a pretty cool thing to experience.
Yeah, for sure. For what's it called? Man, I lost my train of thought. What the fuck? But you're right. It's a surreal ass moment for fucking wrestling.
2022 is a good year for wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, like even before that, with like in 27. Well, I mean, I think the last good year before this year was like 2016. I think 2016 was a solid year for WWE. But then like 17, it was okay. Look, I think when Jinder Mahal won the fucking title was fucking hilarious. I thought that shit was amazing. It was great.
See, I thought that was a cool time to be alive, Or like
I thought I was fucking like jobber turned WWE champion. That shit was fucking hilarious.
For real, and it happened on SmackDown. So like, imagine watching it live and you're like, what the fuck,
Yeah, exactly. But I think.
But I like this title run. I thought it was pretty unique.
2017 through 2021. WWE's fucking trash. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, like how do you fumble Keith Lee? You fumble Karrion Kross. You fumble fucking all these guys.
It's like, especially when they come to the main roster back then.
Yeah, I mean, Karrion Kross was only in WWE for like a year.
I know.
And like he got cucked bad.
Mm-hmm. I remember the when was it? The Barry Corbin era of Monday Night Raw. Man, that shit would always piss me off. Like I don't want to watch Monday Night Raw, but I have to. But it felt like I was torturing myself,
Oh yeah, I mean, like the Barry Corbin, like the costume Corbin.
Yes,
I thought that shit was weird. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny because like he's kind of one of the only guys on the roster that can like get heat, but
for real.
But I don't know. That shit was, It was
I remember a year ago, I got to watch this episode live. It was when Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, they all went to the ring. They were like, "We're gonna give you what you want." And like Barry Corbin, he went out of the commission or something like that,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because I thought at that time period, I thought they were like listening to the fans, but sometimes just bad booking,
Yeah, and then they didn't listen to the fans, and it ended up being worse.
For real, like they'll make memes of like if this person wins a title in the bottom, it'll be like Triple H saying, "We're gonna give you what you want."
Yeah, I mean, like I think Triple H, he knows what he's doing. I mean, I feel like with Judgment Day, I think that's probably some of the best shit that's ever gone down.
Exactly, and I like the heat that what's his name, Dominic Mysterio is getting. I mean, I don't know what people say, but I'm still believing that Dominic is Eddie's son. Like, I don't care what people say.
No, I mean, like I mean, you can 100% tell that that's Rey's son. I mean, like, fucker looks exactly like Rey Mysterio. Like, without a mask. But I don't know. I think it's like Judgment Day. I think I used to think like, okay, Judgment Day is not gonna last at all because they took Edge away, and now it's just Finn. It's Finn, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley, and I'm like, there's no way this fucking gets past like another couple months. And then it just gets better whenever Triple H takes over. They add Dominic, and holy shit, Dominic's fucking killing it too. Like,
I know.
And so, like, I think where they're going, it's probably going to end up being Dominic Mysterio versus Rey versus Dominic at Mania, and they'll finally have like Rey Mysterio whooping Dominic's ass
for punishing his child.
Dead ass. What else? Imperium coming back with the Brawling Brutes. I mean, like, that's just. I think
thought that match
a lot
at
of the
Extreme
trio
Rules
stuff
was good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the trio shit that's going on in WWE right now is fucking crazy.
For real.
Coming back to fucking they reunite with AJ Styles to beat up the Judgment Day. Like, that shit was fucking like, I got fucking chills. We got LA Knight back. I rewatched that shit so many times. I'm gonna be honest, I've never really watched LA Knight, like NXT. Like I fucking like never had time. But LA Knight is fucking ridiculously good. Like there's no way you should have him. There's no way you should have him on the roster and you call him fucking Max Dupree. Like that's fucking stupid. LA Knight's like 20 million times better.
Exactly. I remember before he got signed by WWE, his name was Eli Drake.
Yeah.
Yes. When he was when was it? NWA? I think that's when he was in that company.
Yeah.
But yeah, for real, Max Dupree, like, come on, man. Max Dupree.
Exactly. I mean, like, it looked like it could have been good, but it just turned to shit really fast, and it's just like, dog.
The Max models or something like that?
Maximum male models?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, but I would say, we talked, a lot of good things in this episode.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think I brought my side in, talked a little wrestling, talked a little Marvel. I mean, like, what else can you get from an episode with the one and only Trey Torres? I mean,
his words, not mine.
Exactly. But yeah, it was a good conversation. I feel like we should definitely get we should definitely have this again if we ever get a chance to wrestle each other. We'll pull in one more and we'll grab that in-person one. Hopefully by that time I'm back in the groove. I'm doing shit,
Exactly. But you better get ready when you do it because I will be ready.
Exactly. Look, I'm looking at my wrist tape right now. Hey man, it's all gonna be on my bed. Name the time and place, and we'll make it happen. Promise you.
Whether it's 2023, 2024, a few years from now, it's definitely gotta happen.
I'm willing to bet this will happen really soon. And hey, maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get that match on your channel too.
Oh, for sure, definitely. Only time can tell. Am I right?
Exactly.
But what was I going to say? No, I just want to say, Trey, thank you for being a part of Beyond the Yard again. It feels good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, for sure. It feels good to be back. It feels good to clear the air. It feels good to talk again about wrestling. Nothing too much to it. I will be back in that. I don't want to say squared circle. Fuck. I mean, I'll be back on the trampoline sooner than later. For right now, it's just get prepped. The next year, the grind begins. We'll be like in cardio, we're going crazy on cardio. I'm gonna be honest.
I see. So as a matter of fact, this episode was recorded on Wednesday, October the 12th, and I just want to let you know that tomorrow, which is gonna be the 13th of October, we're gonna have our 100th episode of War. That's when it's gonna be uploaded. Just to let you know, Trey.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like you're gonna see me on that episode in any way, shape, or form. But hey,
yeah, exactly. And reaching 100 episodes, that's a good milestone, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. 100 episodes and 1K. I mean, you can't get any sweeter than that.
For real. Just you can't stop the grind, especially when you got so far.
Exactly. I mean, hey, I give props to you. You work, you do all this shit. You manage a little trampoline wrestling company. I mean, hey, only if you can do that. If you can do all three, we're chilling.
Oh, definitely. And one thing I want to announce is that on the next episode of Beyond the Yard, the 20th episode, we will have RTG on the show.
Damn, we get an RTG on Beyond the Yard, and I'm just
yes, sir.
This? What the fuck?
You're the first person to know about it.
Damn, I feel like this will be an episode. This will be an episode.
You would enjoy it because, who would have thought that RTG would be in Beyond the Yard? Come on. It's going to be a good episode.
Exactly. How old is RTG? 56?
I don't know. Older than me. That's for sure.
Man, I feel like the homie is older than both of us combined. I mean, I'm 20,
exactly.
19. I feel like at least 30. He got at least 30 years on us.
For real. He's beating us. But overall, I just want to say, thank you for being a part of Beyond the Yard. Is there anything you want to say to the fans out there before we end the show?
I don't know who's watching this. Maybe we'll crack 80 views, 100 views, 400 views. We'll see what happens. But hey, I just want to say that no ill will towards anybody. I just felt like it was right for me to get my side of the story up in the air, to clear the air. So I just want to say to you guys that I will be back, probably not under the Savior moniker. We'll see what happens, but I just want you guys to know I will be back wrestling on your little screen on YouTube, whether that be in an actual wrestling ring, whether it might be in Oregon or Michigan or somewhere. Maybe we'll make it happen. But for now, the grind begins. Be ready to see an all-new side of Savior. And a special shout out to Mr. Apache King, who's gotten out of a major surgery. Only God knows how successful it went.
Speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery for the man himself. One of my biggest supporters. I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Jack Delta for being an absolute amazing human being. Whenever he came to Texas, just want to say thank you for being so down to earth. I look forward to getting you in the ring very, very soon. I want to say thank you to Derrick for having me on Beyond the Yard. I want to congratulate ACW on 1K subs, 100 episodes of ACW. And I just want to say that control your own story. That's the best advice I can give you guys. If you want something done, if you want to make a name for yourself, if you want to do it yourself, you have control of your own story. Do what you got to do. It always works out in the end. Always.
Exactly. No, well, those were some great words that you just said. A great message, by the way, for anybody out there that's listening to this. Hopefully, they learned something from this episode.
Exactly. And don't forget, sub to ACW, sub to BTW, and I guess we're subbing to CBW too. I guess. And
don't forget to check out the other episode of Beyond the Yard when Trey was also on the show.
Exactly. One of the only couple people. I think the last guy that was on the show again was Maximus Roman. Something like that.
BXB from CMW. Australia, actually.
Oh, I'm gonna pretend like I don't know who that is. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, no, you're good. There's a lot of people on the show already.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully, if he's listening to this, maybe we could get Jack Delta on Beyond the Yard.
Maybe.
You never know, Only time could tell.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe you can get him in a live version of Beyond the Yard. Maybe you'll get me and Jack Delta together at one point.
Well, that would be pretty nice.
Exactly.
No, I just want to say, everybody listening to this episode, thank you for listening to Beyond the Yard, our 90th episode. Everybody stay safe. Everybody have a good night, and I will see you, or you can just hear me on the next episode. Thank you, everybody, and I'll talk to you later, Trey.
See ya.